Hello, Tuba Hero 37 here. Sometimes people talk about their sheet damage as being a reason that they can do a really high clear or not be able to do a really high clear. So I thought, just for fun, on PoJ, I would see if I could get rank 1 with some ridiculously low sheet damage just by doing what I normally do when I push, which is fish for an ideal situation and play it well. So this is 8 days into the Americas season, and rank 1 currently is a 113. So any 114 would be rank 1, even potentially a 113 if it was faster than this one. So this is my setup. I'm going with just under 500k sheet damage. I'm not going to be trying to cheese this in any way. So some builds you can, like if it's a Thorns build, obviously you're going to have low sheet damage even though you're a full damage build. PoJ does get guaranteed crits versus 3 or fewer targets. So theoretically, if you had a really low crit chance, you would have low sheet damage, but actually be doing more than that in a lot of situations after you've cleared out the trash. So I'm not focusing on anything like that. I just literally took off a bunch of DPS stats until I was down this low. If you look at my crits here, I actually have really low crit damage instead. I took out my gems out of my weapons, replaced them with life per hit. So I'm going for a lot of the usual tanky stats, a lot of resource cost, a lot of cooldown, a lot of area damage. None of those affect your sheet damage. I've got about max on the, elements. The normal amount you would want is 40. I've got 36. It's pretty close. And I've got a really good amount of area. I've had more before, but for just kind of throwing this together at the last minute, 150 is great. And the best thing is I got so much recovery that I should be able to tank any situation, which is really important when you're trying to clear higher than your DPS allows, is to be able to be attacking more things than you normally can. The other non-sheet damage things are like your Tempest Rush damage. So here I just didn't roll to even vitality. I just kept the recovery. Probably would be better off given my relatively low vitality pool and my hugely high life per hit to roll that. So I think I will do that, roll that to 1,000 vitality-ish. But yeah, I have nearly max Tempest Rush as well. Also, because I'm taking all these toughness and recovery options, I don't think I'm going to have any issue going with Mantle of Channeling instead of Lefebvre's. And I only have one defensive passive. I don't have Beacon of Vitar. I don't think I'll need it because I was able to put all the cooldown rolls on my gear that I did. So I've got Relentless Assault and Seize the Initiative, which both greatly raise your damage. And this one does raise your sheet damage, but only in combat. So most people, when they talk about sheet damage, they mean you're in town. It can vary wildly in combat. Even just clicking a speed pile on and change it, whether it helps your build or not. It's a good mob type. We'll play it. Looks like it is. Oh my gosh. This is... Okay, so with Taeguk, it says we're over 1 million, but our town and Seize the Initiative. Those are two big sheet multipliers. But in town, we have literally under 500k, and we just destroyed, with not that many Tempest Rush stacks, that blob of trash at the beginning. Now, another factor is squirts. So the first pull, even though I didn't have that many Tempest Rush stacks, I probably had max squirts. And you can manipulate your environment and then hit Serenity to actually have that pretty reliably on some mob types. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. I have about 1 in 3 enemies will be crit, but the crits will only be a little over double damage, so it's not that... It should actually be pretty even damage on every hit. Of course, area damage can play a big role too. So yeah, we are just cruising towards rank 1 with 500k in town sheet damage. I hope I remembered Bane of the Stricken. That would be silly if I get to the boss and then it just takes forever. So here we won't have squirts. Hopefully we're just so strong that we can kill the trash in one hit. We did probably enough to keep progress. Like that was probably about 20 seconds worth of progress. Okay, we got some blobs of nice little trash, but we also have trees, which can root us and then lose our temperature stacks. So I'm just gonna leave that situation now. Ooh. So all the recovery of the life per hit doesn't do you any good when you're not hitting anything, obviously. And this is gonna not be a good GR. So if we get this rank 1 with low sheet damage on this GR, then it's like all about the skill and just those non-sheet damage gear rolls at that point that made the difference. This build, PoJ Tempest Rush, is likely weaker than Inna's, although I'm not sure. I haven't really directly compared pushing water ally with PoJ. But I guess what I'm trying to say is this isn't like a super duper OP build. It is a very good build though, but able to get a 114 down with basically no DPS just by playing it well. Just based on how fast things are dying when I do pops, I would guess like for a superfish, I could probably do a 120 with this build with this sheet DPS. That would require much more ideal situations though. Yikes. Man, now I really want to get this clear because it would be so awesome to start this badly and still get it. Of course, if I only get it because I get a nice conduit, it's like, well, did you get the clear or did the conduit get the clear? The thing is, anybody can have a conduit if they just try enough keys. So something did proc me, or at least follower proc me. Ooh, we'll have some squirts for this pop. Now I have been kind of chunking these elites. Probably would only take 6 pops or so to kill most of them if I was able to hit them everyone, but floor 1 just wasn't that great for places to pull them through into and such. Here though, we're gonna have 2, if I go back for that last elite, 3 elites in the same room. That's worth it, especially with the double damage squirts. Wormhole's annoying. Okay, we'll hit him now. Hit them now. Hell yeah. Now, in future pops, there's enough low things around that I've got a very good chance of having Oculuses. But I've been moving around so much that it makes it harder. I'm more worried about just not getting wormholed. So we haven't lost any time since we started focusing on elites. Probably because we doubled our damage, more or less. But we're about to get big progress globes. Come on, Oculus. Oh well. Nice. Okay, stack a little stricken. Maybe. They are too far apart from each other. That helps. We got our Oculus. That'll be around for the beginning of cold at least. Oh, I thought this guy was the wormhole, but I guess the other was. This is a really good mob type. I think just because of the layout, kind of like the Spire though, I'm not going to try and kill this yellow. I think I saw blue skelly over there. That pack would be nice to kill. Maybe since I got the shield helping, I'll be able to kill him. I'd have to get a really nice hit in. And they're spread out right now, so I don't think it's going to happen. Moving on. Halved him, though. Wow, 2 trees on the same floor. Or the same GR. 2 tree packs. That's kind of crazy. So I guess another completely unrelated to your gear thing that can hinder pushing is focusing on the elites. Almost every build in the game is bad at killing elites when you're pushing. It's just like the Rift Guardian. If you tried playing a Rift Guardian with no Stricken, most builds would be awful at it. So that elite is now half dead, and there's a ghost pack nearby, so I think I will stop for it. But in general, you just want to hit the good trash and move on. Now the problem with the ghost pack is that I'm gonna lose squirts more often. And they are kind of, they spread out a bit. So I might just skip the ghosts and kill the Gravedigger. I think I just barely missed it. Like I got wormholed as I was going to click blind. At this point, I would have been better off if I had skipped this pack like I had been doing for most. Even though he's gonna die right now, like it took a few rotations more than it should have, and I didn't really kill any trash in that time. The nice thing about big open maps where you do drag packs forward is that you're killing trash the entire time. So you're not really losing time, and you occasionally gain a burst, you know, after the 4, 6, 8, 10 pops, however many it takes to actually kill an elite. Some builds that will take a full like 5 minutes of dragging to actually kill an elite. A blue at that. Easy. No DPS on horrible floors. Yeah, at this point, I'm not even going to click a conduit. If I see it, I don't need it. I'm going to stop some point mid-GR just to prove that I'm playing this with a low sheet DPS. Because obviously, it kind of looks like I got 1,000,000 right here. But that's because Taeguk counts. And that's... I've got a fairly low-level Taeguk, so it's not quite like nearly doubling my DPS, sheet DPS. But then sees the initiative is another 30%. So yeah, speed. So, oh my gosh. So much for bad maps only. 497, 370 is my in-town sheet DPS. That's just a movement speed boost. And pop. Probably 3 more pops at most. Doesn't look like I'm gonna find a really good pile of density with these tiles. But if I can kill these demon raiders at least. Ooh, actually this is decent. 1 more pop if I'm lucky. Okay, so we don't want Vesalius or Arathon, really. Ads bosses are bad, like Hamlin, but wouldn't be terrible. Okay, we should be tanky enough, I would think. Oh, maybe not. We actually have not that high of sheet defense. We have a lot of recovery, but that's not going to do us a lot of good if we get one-shots. Okay, big hit incoming. Half dead. We just need 1 more hit. So the nice thing about this defensive-wise is like you can always be kiting, running away from enemies, and then just come in for the pop while you're invincible. And that's probably why I didn't notice my low sheet defense. But this hit will kill her. And is that rank 1, or did somebody push ahead of me in that time? That's rank 1. With like no defense. I think I showed all my gear at the beginning of the vid, but I'll just really quickly hover over in case I forgot one. So I got in the cube and skills.